ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, alumni, elected officials, honored friends. We're so happy to have you here with us this morning. I put before you now the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Clark Atlanta University, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, Jr., Executive Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer of the Coca-Cola Company.
Thank you, Donna. Good morning, everybody. Today, we are privileged to witness the unfolding of a new chapter in the storied history of Clark Atlanta University. We have many friends and special guests with us today, but I want to especially thank just a few. We are honored to have a delegation from the Atlanta City Council with us this morning. They include Councilman C.T. Martin, an alumnus of CAU, Councilman Kwanzaa Hall, Councilwoman Cleta Winslow. Can I ask all of you to please stand and be acknowledged? Dr. Pearl C. Dove, we are all honored whenever we are in your presence. For those of you who don't know Dr. Dove is nearing her 75th class anniversary year at CAU, where she served as professor, mentor, and a member of the university's Consolidation Committee. Although retired, she remains active here on campus, particularly with our School of Education, which annually presents the Pearl C. Dove Colloquium. Can you please stand and be acknowledged? We are also honored to have Congressman Hank Johnson representing Georgia's 4th Congressional District, who is also a distinguished alumni of this university. He joins us today with a very special alumni, his mother, Mrs. Christine Paradise Collier. Can we ask her to please stand as well and be acknowledged? Congressman, welcome home, and the Congressman will now grace us with a few remarks. Congressman Johnson.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I tell you, I'm proud to stand here today as a graduate of the class of 1976 of Clark College. And I tell you, a day that I will never forget was February. I believe it was February the 25th of 1972. That was the day that I opened up the letter from Clark College saying that you have been accepted. And when I got that letter, opened it up, I was going through all kinds of things as a young black man growing up in Washington, D.C. In the early 70s, and you know, just on the wrong track. But when I got that letter, my whole future appeared before me. I always had wanted to be a lawyer, and I knew that when I got that acceptance letter, that I was on my way. And so, you know, I retain the satisfaction of being able to be accepted into a school. And when I got here, it was the exact kind of atmosphere that I needed as a young black man to be successful, to understand who I was and how I fit into this society. And it prepared me to move on to law school. And where did I go to law school? Another HBCU, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, Texas Southern University. And so here I stand today with our incoming president, who you will be introduced to in just a few minutes, and you'll learn of his history, and you'll learn of some of the things that we share together. The biggest thing being the love of HBCUs. And so I want to welcome our incoming president. I want to thank our outgoing president, Dr. Carlton Brown, for his tremendous contribution to our university. When he came in, things were unsettled, things were turbulent, and the future was unclear, although we all knew that we were going to make it somehow. But he came in, and we do not have that, we do not have that same situation that we faced then. What we face now is blue skies. And so I want to thank Dr. Brown for all that he has done, toiling through the darkness and through the fog to lift us to where we are now. Let's give him a hand. And I look forward to working with you in your future endeavors, sir. And so now I think I will yield the floor back to our chairman. Thank you all so much for coming, and thank you all for each and everything that you do. I see so many people in the audience who I'm personally aware of your contributions to our great university, and I would, if I start naming names, I would get myself in trouble. So thank you all for everything that you do. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Alumnus Johnson. We're very proud to have a son of CAU representing the 4th Congressional District. Let me now introduce the president of our National Alumni Association. As you probably know, there are many constituents we touch and need to touch. But we felt it important, I felt it important that we have our alumni president say a few words, a few remarks. The ultimate product of this institution are its students, and alumni is a manifestation of that. So without further ado, I want to introduce Marshall Tiger, president of the National Alumni Association, to say a few words on this very august occasion. Marshall?
Thank you, Alumnus Cummings, and also Board Chair Cummings. There is a time in life where the stars align, the planets rotate perfectly around the sun, and when the spirit of greatness arises. Now is that time. President-elect Dr. Ronald Johnson and his lovely wife, the First Lady, Irene Johnson, our 4th president. Welcome to Clark Atlanta University. Clark Atlanta University, of course, is a consolidation by 2 parent institutions, Clark College and Atlanta University. But one thing that it produces is its product, and that is its alumni. So on behalf of the 13,000 alumni that span the globe, we salute you, Dr. Johnson, and look forward to working with you and your lovely FLOTUS. For those alumni in the audience, if you could just stand and be recognized. All alumni. You may be seated. On behalf of the Board of Directors, and we have one of our Board of Directors members here, our immediate past president and past board member of the trustees, Devin White, we really appreciate the opportunity to stand before you today. We feel that we have the right leader, the right man, and this is the right time. So let's seize the day. Let's catch the CAU spirit, alumni. Let's welcome our new president with open hearts, open spirits, and more importantly, open wallets. Thank you for your time, and let's get started, CAU. Thank you.
Thanks, Marsha. I like that open wallet comment. As Alumnus Johnson mentioned, under the leadership of Dr. Carlton E. Brown, Clark Atlanta has been steadfast in upholding what we refer to as our spirit of greatness. Dr. Brown has stayed the course and kept us on a mission amidst some of the nation's toughest economic circumstances. As most of you know, he announced his decision to retire nearly a year ago, culminating a career that spans 40 years, nearly all of them in higher education. That record is impressive not only because of his time span, but when you consider the number of students mentored, the hundreds of faculty he has developed, the number of careers launched, and the number of lives changed, it becomes all the more amazing. Dr. Brown, on behalf of the Clark Atlanta University Board of Trustees, I thank you for your leadership and service to our beloved institution. We will formally celebrate Dr. Brown's career and his accomplishments in the very near future. When any university president retires, it essentially constitutes the end of a chapter in the life of the institution. For a board of trustees, it constitutes a call to action to ensure that the next chapter in the institution's history continues, and to ensure that the institution is taken to a new and higher level. This is what our board has done and what brings us together this morning. Can I ask all of our board members present to please stand so we can acknowledge and thank them. Over the past year, our 12-member presidential search committee, led by Trustee Joe Lehman, Vice President of Human Resources for Chevron Corporation, facilitated by AGB Search, executed a nationwide process with excellence, thoroughness, and integrity. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I wish to thank the dedicated members of the search committee and Trustee Lehman for his willingness to contribute his well-honed expertise and considerable experience to this process. Our goal was to identify a leader who had demonstrated the ability to successfully execute strategic plans to achieve or exceed expectations. Someone who understood the sensitivities of higher education and how to foster collaborative excellence. Someone who has consistently demonstrated the ability to navigate the gauntlet of national macroeconomics and higher education microeconomics. Someone who understood how to cultivate strategic relationships and fundraise. Someone who believes in the power of education and the necessity of HBCUs in the 21st century. And most important, someone who demonstrated the ability to harness the unyielding potential of our beloved CAU and propel us into the next chapter of our evolution. And so we visited campuses, we talked to colleagues, we sought referrals, we vetted credentials, we engaged our students, faculty, and staff. We weighed options, and we deliberated. And then we deliberated some more. And we reached a unanimous decision. The next president of Clark Atlanta University is someone who successfully managed a portfolio of $3 billion as president and chief investment officer of Smith, Graham & Company. Someone who successfully managed assets totaling $2 billion for Templeton Worldwide, Inc. Someone who demonstrated tremendous expertise and excelled as an economist for both the International Monetary Fund and the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Someone who developed and implemented smart investment strategies and advised heads of governments on financial policy adjustments in more than 25 foreign nations. An individual of sterling reputation with an impeccable background who so believes in the transformative power of education that he himself coined the term business-ready graduate, and then redesigned curricula to improve student learning outcomes and deliver upon that proposition. A professional of unquestionable character who loves education and has achieved inarguable success in academia, serving with absolute distinction for more than 2 decades, holding 2 named professorships, the BB&T Distinguished Professor of Capitalism and the J.P. Morgan Chase Professor of Finance, who has served as the dean of 2 nationally acclaimed schools of business, the Western Carolina University School of Business, and now the Jesse S. Jones School of Business at Texas Southern University. The search committee pursued this individual. Our request was that he would bring his expertise, his wisdom, his deep intellect, his passion, and his heart to our institution. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the president-elect of Clark Atlanta University by unanimous vote of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Ronald A. Johnson. Dr. Johnson is joined by his lovely wife, Irene. Welcome to Clark Atlanta. Good morning.
Good morning. It's actually a beautiful morning today, and I'm very excited about joining the family at Clark Atlanta University. And one of the things that I really want to say is that I see it as a labor of love. It's really a great day for me and for my wife, and I really expect that you'll see great things come out of us as we work together. To begin, Chairman Cummings, Congressman Johnson, and members of the Board of Trustees, President Brown, honorable members of the Atlanta City Council, beloved alumni and dear friends, as well as members of the press. Thank you all. My wife and I, Irene, are profoundly honored to be here. We're really excited to be here, and as you can see, there's a little nervousness in me because of the excitement. As I was reading through a number of documents on Clark University, Clark College, Atlanta University, and of course, Clark Atlanta University, I came across a directive, and that directive was just come home. My family and I have really been blessed. We've lived in a number of environments around the world and as certainly around this country. And today I believe that indeed we have come home. Chairman Cummings, it's over here. Chairman Cummings and the members of the board, I'm committed to upholding the mission and advancing the vision of this great institution. Faculty, staff, and students, I met them yesterday, and there I committed to work beside them as we move Clark Atlanta to its rightful place in the laurels of the future. To our legacy alumni, I make this promise. I will walk studiously in the pathways you and so many legendary alumni like you have carved through this campus and far beyond its footprint. I know there is wisdom that I can gather from just walking in your pathway, but also there'll be wisdom gathered by sitting and chatting with you and learning from your experience and seeing the world through your eyes. To our city council members, I look forward to partnering with you in ways that illuminate our great city and enrich the lives of all of her citizens. Clark Atlanta University and Atlanta City Council have joint ranks on issues from historic preservation to domestic violence prevention, and I invite the opportunity to collaborate with you and to continue to work for the betterment of this great city. President Brown, I thank you for the leadership and service you have committed to our hallowed institution. Your great works will continue to inform the vision of Clark Atlanta University, certainly will inform me, and we are all better for the visionary leadership you invested into this institution. Congressman Johnson, I, in addition to my surname Johnson, in addition to my service as Dean of the Jesse H. Jones School of Business at Texas Southern University, and in addition to this new chapter unfolding at your alma mater, I do indeed plan to focus on the fourth. Now, one of the key things about the focus that I'm going to describe in terms of the fourth is that we must commit to a high level of a high level of execution at every level of the institution. What we're really focused on, and if we're going to be successful, is that we have to move beyond excellence and move to being an exemplar. We have to move to exemplary. We want to be able to define the future, not just to be a participant in the future. As I anticipate taking the helm as the fourth president of Clark Atlanta University, I will begin with a 6-point framework captured in the very letters of the word fourth. The first letter, F, stands for fiscal responsibility. We will create a new, sustainable financial model for long-term viability. O stands for organizational effectiveness. We will sharpen our focus based upon data-driven solutions and decision-making. U stands for university experience. We will reevaluate and refocus our efforts toward transforming the university, transforming the university so that we can address the increasing demand for educational value, affordability, and accountability. R is for research. Research will be the hallmark of the CAU experience. It is inextricably linked to what we are as a institution of higher education and learning. T is for the campaign for CAU. I said yesterday that universities cannot live on tuition and fees, that we have to go beyond that level of support, and we are going to look at how we can actually develop friends and additional support from a wide cross-section of the community, and that community is not just Atlanta, not just Georgia, not just the United States, but around the world. The future of this institution hinges squarely upon our ability to mount and execute a successful capital campaign. We will commit ourselves to ensuring that we can successfully execute that goal with precision, responsiveness, and excellence. Last but not least, home. The university is only as strong as our alumni. Alumni engagement is something that's really critical. I'm excited to meet our alumni across the nation and to continue strengthening the bonds between Clark Atlanta University and all of our alumni populations in a substantive and meaningful way. I look forward to meeting each of you. And what I'd like to ask you to do is that we can actually begin a conversation today about where we go in the future and how we do it. Before you depart, please be sure to take a feedback form. We have it in the back. Your input, insight, and perspectives are critical, and I absolutely want to hear from you. I look forward to also chatting with you after I get your suggestions and your comments. Before I take my seat, I would like to formally introduce someone who has committed to working right alongside us as we create new paradigms and new opportunities for Clark Atlanta University. That person walked in here with me. She's my lovely wife. Please join me in welcoming the next First Lady of Clark Atlanta University, Mrs. Irene Oakley Johnson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are just so very delighted and excited, as you can tell by my husband. Our exuberance cannot be withheld here. We are just absolutely in love with Clark Atlanta University, and we are so honored and privileged to serve in this capacity as we begin our journey here soon. I want to thank you for the warm reception that we received here this week, and we look forward to working with you. As the President-elect said, he wants to hear from you. I plan to be actively engaged in the campus life where I will be needed. And also, I'm looking forward to being a part of the greater Atlanta community. And I look forward to getting to know it and to know this great city and this great university. We look forward to spending time with you, meeting you, and we are just so very grateful to be a part of CAU and, as Ron said, coming home. Thank you.
So there you have it. I hope you join me in my excitement for this next chapter of our university's history. We got a 2 for a year. We got a 2 for 1. Isn't that a great deal? What a wonderful deal. Thanks, Dr. Johnson and Irene, for joining us. We will make this institution great. We will take it to the next level. We'll build on the legacy Dr. Brown is leaving. And with your help, with your support, because it will take all of us to make that happen, we will have a very successful tenure with Dr. Johnson and his lovely wife, Irene.